Hey guys, this is SidXYZ and welcome back to another Warframe video, and this time we'll be taking a look at a new meta, the Zenistar and the Loki, the combination and the high damage that they deal together. Now Zenistar is the 300th login reward. You get it as a login reward when you log in for the 300th time in the Warframe, and it has a pretty bad stats, as you can say. It has a nice damage that is 130 heat, but the critical chance is just 5% and critical multiplier is just 2%, which is really bad. Status chance is 25%, which is good, but this weapon is really great, and it's the mechanics of this weapon which makes it really great, and the way to use it, how to get the max potential out of this weapon. So I'll show you guys how that's done in this video. Now it's a heavy blade, so it uses heavy blade stances, and those are rending crane, sorry. Then second one is cleaving whirlwind, and third one is tempo royale. Now my build is this one, and you guys might ask why I'm using this build, which I will tell you guys. I'm using tempo royale stance, pressure point for more melee damage, prime fury for more attack speed, drifting contact for increasing the combo count duration 40% chance, prime breach for more range, villain scourge and volcanic edge for gas damage and status, organ shatter for more critical damage, spoil strike for more damage. Now, to be honest, primed fury and drifting contact are not needed really in this build, but I'm using because the mechanics, this weapon is really slow, so I have to use primed fury, and I will show you the mechanics of this weapon. Now the regular attacks are the simple attacks like this, and you can also use another combo from Tempo Royale or any of the stances which you prefer, but this weapon is not good for the regular combo attacks, which I'll show you guys why it is. And the simple reason being that it's really slow and it has a really bad critical chance. As you can see, this weapon does a really low amount of damage, not really good for using regular attacks. But you can see, whenever I get a finisher attack, the damage just bypasses, the gas damage bypasses the armor and deals a lot of damage. Now here's another way of using this weapon, using the charged attacks. It will release a disc that can continue dealing the elemental damage for like 40 seconds or something. Okay, it releases the disc like this by using the charged attack, and that disc will continue to deal the elemental damage on your weapon for like 40 seconds, and the area of damage is affected by the primed reach mod, the reach mod which you are using. So how do you get the best damage out of this weapon? The simple answer is using a steel frame. Now let me switch to a steel frame, or a frame that can force finishers on enemies, and the obvious choice which comes first in your mind is Excalibur, because the blind will force uh, stealth and finisher damage on the enemies. So let's see how that works. How good is it? Oops. Just look at that. Died in less than 1 second. That's the beauty of this weapon. But I was trying it out in Akkad and other different defense missions, but the problem was that using blind on enemies forced them to stop at a place, and I had to wait for the enemies to enter the radius so that I can use blind on them, and I can force finishers on them. So it was not that easy, it was a bit complex. So how do you do that without having to blind the enemies? And the answer is using a frame that can be invisible. And the first frame which comes to your mind is Loki. Now Loki is a really good stealth frame, and I'll show you guys how much damage can he deal with this weapon. Okay, let's go. Spawning level 110 heavy gunners. Using charge attack to throw my disc and deal gas damage. Just look at that. Just look at that. This is beautiful. And doing the charged attack again will call back your disc. Now it's not just Loki who can use this. There's one more frame who can use this really well, and that's Mirage. And Mirage clones will grant you more radius. Oops, I need to switch to melee. Now you can see there are 4 discs, and so the attack radius has increased a lot because of the discs. Now I will blind them with prism, and you can see the damage. And also it is weird that it's also dealing heat procs as well as gas procs. So the thing is that the outer discs, the discs except the disc in the center, are using only heat damage. That's the basic element of this weapon. So the best way to use this weapon is to go with a sealed frame and ignore all the shields or armors of the enemies, and it becomes really easy to cheese defense like a cut, just because you don't have to wait for the enemies to come into the range. You can just go AFK or whatever you want. Like, you can just stand there in the corner and watch enemies die while you are invisible, so they won't touch you and they will just die. So that's really easy, and that's really helpful in cheesing the defense missions with small area, or the defense missions that don't have a large map. It's really easy. And also you can do camping and kill everything. Like in any mission, just even if it's survival, you can just camp with your team and just use Zenistar and an invisible frame like Loki, or you can use Naramon on Mirage to get invisibility, and you can deal a lot of damage and get insta kills on all the enemies. Doesn't matter if they have armor or not, or if they have shields or not. So that was it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, goodbye.